Call to order. Good evening. Today is Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 at 6:02 p.m. Williston City Council Chamber, City Council meeting. We're going to call to order. We'll first have roll call by Ms. Latricia Wright.
Mayor Goodman, he's absent. Council President Hinds.
Here.
Vice President Cox.
Here.
Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Martin.
Here.
Councilmember Riccio, she's absent. City Manager Sue Beaudet.
Here.
Attorney Kiersten Ballou.
Here.
City Clerk Latricia Wright, I am here, and all other staff.
Here.
Thank you.
Here. All right, at this time, we'll have opening prayer and pledge of allegiance to the flag by Chief Stegall.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, please put your hand upon us tonight and guide us as we go about the business of the city. Make us good stewards of your word through our words and actions, Lord. Watch over us as we go about our way. Keep all of our employees safe from harm and out of harm's way, Lord. I ask everything in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 1, additions, deletions, changes, and approval of the agenda.
Madam President, we would like to table item I. FGU will be with us at the next meeting to explain this a little more fully for you all.
Okay, table I.
How about the annexation portion? Are we going to do that since he's not here? Oh, you're going to take care of it. Okay. I move we approve the agenda with the amendment of deletion of item I.
A second.
Before we move forward, do we need to make the changes from the beginning or no? Okay. All right. So I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Item number 2, Mayor Student of the Month is going to be Chief Rolls.
MJ. It's MJ you want.
Mike.
He said Kristen, didn't
He did. So now you have to let him stand up there. You called him up there.
he? Do we have both?
All right.
I heard it.
All right. So tonight I get to do the part of the mayor. I'm not the mayor, trust me. I'm positive. Joby, thank you. So tonight I get to do the mayor's part of the Student of the Month. And with me up here I have Mr. Kristen Bullock and his teacher. Ms. Schultz put him in for Williston Elementary Student of the Month. What you think about that, buddy?
Kristen is his mama.
Was that?
I was finna say,
Kristen is his mama. He's MJ.
I'm just going by what
Is
the
it
mayor
wrong
gave
on
me.
the certificate?
It says MJ.
It says MJ, but it says Kristen Bullock.
That's his mama.
Well, where's the mama at?
Right there.
You're Stephen Michael Bullock.
Yeah.
Okay, we got this right now. I was going to give this to your mom. Are you okay with that?
Say no. Say no. Yeah, say
Don't
no.
give it away, buddy. Don't give it away.
Don't give your food away.
Well, you've been nominated by Miss Schultz. You know who that is? Who is that?
Teacher?
Who is it?
My teacher?
Is she a good teacher? Don't say that. You can say it if it's good. If it's-
Don't put him on the spot. Keep going.
Never mind. Miss Schultz put you in for the Student of the Month, and she made the following comments. Are you ready for this? Okay. She said, MJ is an all-around amazing student. Is that true? Okay. All right. This is an interrogation, all right? So you have to say yes, no, or plead the fifth. All right, you ready? Okay. She also said he works hard and is always willing to help others.
Yes.
Okay, good. He is a great role model for his peers and everybody around him. He leads by example through his positive attitude, strong character, and his consistent effort in everything he does.
Yes.
Okay, great. MJ approaches challenges with determination and never backs down from an opportunity to grow.
Yes.
All right. He is always looking for ways to excel academically, pushes himself to do his very best, and taking pride in his work.
I plead the fifth.
Yes.
He doesn't know that means you have to be educated.
Did you hear what she said?
It's okay.
All right. So, where was I? Beyond the classroom, he shows kindness, respect.
Yes.
All right. You sure? Okay. All right. He always treats others well. His willingness to encourage classmates to step up when help is needed truly sets him apart. MJ future is incredibly bright.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad, was it? That was pretty fun, wasn't it? All right, so here we go. So you get an award tonight, Outstanding Student Award. Look at that. It even got your name on it. And it's presented by, not Charles Goodman is the mayor. You know who that is? Okay, I'm not Charles Goodman. Okay, good. All right. Presented by Charles Goodman, the mayor of the city of Williston. I heard that, Lamar. This certificate is to Stephen Michael M.J. Butt. Is awarded this certificate for academic excellence, leadership, citizenship, and attendance at Williston Elementary School. Given this third day of March 2026, signed by the mayor of the city of Williston, Charles Goodman.
Woohoo!
There you go, buddy. You can't leave yet? I mean, you can.
Did you see that look?
You
Can
don't
I
want
keep
to.
this one?
Stay here.
All right. Well, let me give you this one. Also, when you are chosen as the student of the month by the mayor, you get a little extra, right? So what you get is he's congratulating you for being student of the month, right? And then he's going to also, from this nice place in town called Flamingo Freeze, you know where that's at? Oh, yeah. You like that place? All right. Well, for being student of the month, you also get a certificate good for one kid's meal or anything off the ice cream menu from Flamingo Breeze. What do you think about that? That's pretty cool.
Banana split. Here we come.
Did y'all hear what he said? You gonna get what?
Fat.
Fat.
Man, you got a long ways to go, brother. Yeah. You know, I used to like Joby, but I'm going to be, since I'm doing this student of the month, I'm going to be nice, Miss Meredith, because I can say some things that'll make Joby leave this room. But anyway, okay, so here you go, sir. There is your certificate for your Flamingo Freeze ice cream. All right, congratulations. Oh, we got to take a picture. Come on. You got to hold them up like that. Yeah. You got one upside down, bro. There we go.
That's the test for tonight.
Congratulations, MJ.
All right. All right, at this time, we're going to do public participation. This will be your first of 2 times that you will have to speak on anything that is not on the agenda. Please state your name and where you live.
Yes, my name is Tim Ecker. Can I pass this out to y'all before I speak?
Sure. Thank you.
Yes, I'm Tim Ecker, 225. I don't like you starting the thing before I got up here, but whatever. Good evening, Mayor, is it council members? I'm here tonight to ask about a very direct, reasonable questions about transparency, accountability, and reasonable use of public funds. First, I want to know how much did it cost the city to purchase the properties from Randy and others? And just as importantly, where is the receipt and documentation showing that cost? Transparency is not optional. When the costs are omitted and withheld, it erodes public trust, leaving out information intentionally, and is just as damaging as providing incorrect information. The public deserves clear and complete answers. This brings me to the public records request, information request. What's the city's policy on responding information requests from residents, and what are the repercussions if the city fails to respond to those requests in a timely manner? About a month ago, I officially asked to be put on the agenda, and the following questions remained unanswered, including who's the project manager of parking lot 12, who's responsible for the errors that occurred, what is the total cost to fix those mistakes, such as when the land needed to be repurchased because the original purchase was never filed. Accountability matters. If something went wrong, the public deserves to know who is responsible, whether it be the CRA, City of Williston, legal counsel, or project engineer. I also would like to clarify on liability risk management specifically. Is there professional liability insurance in place, including errors and omissions coverage, cyber liability insurance? Is there commercial umbrella liability insurance? These protections are not optional. They are critical when public money and public projects are involved. Finally, I ask for clear answers on the project itself. What's the estimated project completion date? What's the original projected to cost? And what does the final project cost now, including additional expenses purchasing property to continue the project? There are not unreasonable questions that are basic expectations of transparency and stewardship of public funds. I urge the city to provide clear documentation, timely responses, and a full disclosure moving forward. Transparency builds trust. Trust is essential to a good governance. Thank you for your time. Timothy Ecker.
Thank you, Mr. Eckert. So, in relations to this matter, Attorney Ballou, did you have something to say?
I'm happy to provide the information that I can on this. So we, and correct me if I'm wrong, are still waiting on one set of documents to come back from the Philippines.
Came today.
They came today. Okay, so now we have all of our documents regarding fixing up the issue with the easements and the property purchases, etc. The next step, if you all would like, is we can try and figure out, so I know that we've talked about before, this project was started before 2010. Sometime before 2010 is when we first started working on this. We have had 2 engineers since then. We've had multiple different individuals involved, multiple different city managers involved in the process. So we can take a look now that we've gotten the issue fixed, because our direction was get it fixed first and then figure out what has happened. So we just got it fixed today. We can take a look into what occurred. My estimation, and this is an educated guess, is going to be that there were probably multiple different points in which there wasn't proper documentation, or we somehow missed some information somewhere. And I'm saying we, I mean every party that was involved, whether that be engineer and not Wright Pierce. Wright Pierce was not our engineer on that. But I don't know is the answer to that question. As far as the funds for that, the CRA issued the funds for the payment for that property. I believe it was $2,500 per parcel for us to purchase the land and to purchase the easement. Okay, so both of those are what we received from that exchange. Now, we had the option at one point, the CRA had the option to, instead of doing the property transfer, to just do a redesign of the project. And it was determined that in order to get the most benefit out of the parking lot, that was not the option that the CRA wanted to go with. They chose to purchase the property and keep with the original design. As far as, there's lots of questions regarding who did what and when and who should have done what and when. And the honest answer is, at this point, we don't really have a good sense of that. The project has been something that's, lasted over a decade, and it's going to take a while to dig through all of the documentation regarding that. If that's something that you all believe is something that you'd like staff to spend time on, we will absolutely do that. It will be quite time intensive, so we're happy to do it, but I just want to make sure that we're clear on sort of prioritization and expectation. So it does not need to be decided tonight. Again, we just got it fixed tonight. But that's what I can provide for you. As far as insurance, all of our contracts have professional liability insurance. All of our contracts have insurance regarding commercial umbrella liability policies. Cyber liability insurance, typically we have something that equates to what I believe that's looking at, as far as like if they have like a cyber attack on their company, we do have insurance that covers that, if that's what cyber insurance means. I don't have numbers on the estimated project completion date or the original project cost versus final project cost. I'm sure that we can get those numbers for you if that's something that you'd like to take a look at, though. I feel like that addressed maybe everything that I have information on.
So what I would like to ask that we do is whatever information on these questions that can be answered, we answer them in writing so that it then becomes part of public record, so that it's not asked again, and it can be found if we ever have to go back and look for it again. Those things that we can answer, let's try to answer. Those that we cannot, let's not spend a whole lot of time working on whose fault was this and that. It was a fault of everyone involved until we got it right. So let's potentially do it that way, and then not next meeting, but the meeting after, have these questions answered so that we are all good with it. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. My question is, beyond the $2,700 per address that was used to purchase that land, were there any additional costs due to these errors?
No.
Walt Nickel with Wright Pierce. There will be. There's a delay. We had a stop order on construction, and that costs money. And so we've been in contact with Wilk Site Prep, notified them that we're about ready to have this resolved. So they're looking at what those costs are going to be. We're expecting a request for a a modification from them on that, because it stopped, and that does add a cost. And so, yes, we're expecting a cost, that delay.
Thank you. Any other questions from council?
I just want to make a comment that all of this was done at CRA. CRA is public. All of the funds, all the discussion, they were here for hours. The attorney was with them each time. And it was all transparent there. And they are autonomous. Is that the right word I should use?
Independent.
Independent entity. And they do act upon their own projects. If they get too big, they come to us with things that need approval for dollars that are above and beyond what they have, or if to take out a loan or something of that nature. But all of this was discussed at length in their meetings, and anybody who was here could have heard that. And I stumbled in. That's how I got in the middle of this. It's just I happened to come to one of their meetings, and they asked me if I would take on the property owners and get it done. And that's the only reason I got in the middle of it, because it really isn't a city council project. It's a CRA project. So that was what I would say. The transparency is there if you're in the meeting. And if not, the questions that you ask, we'd be glad to answer.
And I'll also add, Madam President, that the CRA has a budget that is separate from the city's budget and can only be spent on projects inside the CRA district.
Right.
So to clarify, the $27,500 used to purchase the land, plus whatever the cost is for the stopped work, is CRA funded,
That is
not
correct.
funded by the city of Williston.
Exactly.
Correct.
Mr. Phelps? All right. Is there anyone else from the public with comments? Seeing none, we'll move forward. Oh, we did say in the next 2 meetings, this information will be back, correct? Okay. Yes. All right. So we will start with continue with the consent agenda. Council amendments from February 3rd, 2026, and council minutes from February 17th, 2026.
I make a motion we approve the consent agenda from the council minutes from February 3rd and 17th, 2006.
I would just say I saw a few misspellings and grammatical things in the ones from February 3rd, and I could get with Latricia on that later. It's not of no context at all. It's just spelling of words and that sort of thing. So I will second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second with some clarifications with Ms. Jones and Ms. Wright. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Now we'll go to staff updates. And we will start with City Manager Sue Beaudet.
Thank you, Madam President. All right, just a couple things tonight. First and foremost, I wanted to thank Commissioner Johnny Hires. We met with him last Monday. Staff did to discuss the possibility of property taxes going away. And then we had a workshop, I don't know, what do we want to call it, a meeting at Foles Walker last Wednesday with several other municipalities and discussed, again, the possibility of property taxes going away. I took away from that meeting, there were about 15 different ideas that were sort of bandied about that we could do. I have sent those over to Finance Director Stephen Bloom to put some dollar figures on them to see if where applicable, there's some things that we don't have in place, and but where possible to actually put some dollar figures on those 15 options. So I will definitely report those back to you when I get those. But there were definitely some good ideas that came about from the meeting, so I really appreciate getting everybody together in that room. Second, I did receive an a letter from Safe Built dated February 25th. I'll just read it for the record. It says the above referenced contract provides that Safe Built is to receive a CPI increase in the fees charged for services provided under that contract. Based on the change in the CPI, that increase is 3%. The attached Exhibit A provides the new fee structure for services provided under the contract and will be effective with respect to all services provided on or after March 1st, 2026. Please indicate your agreement to the foregoing terms by signing and dating this letter in the space indicated below, and return a fully executed version of this letter to Todd Phelps. I believe that in the past, what you have done is a resolution and then increase the fees by the 3%. And I'm assuming you want to do the same thing this year, but just wanted your approval to do that.
I think we should. I'm not happy with them doing it in the middle of the budget.
I get it. I think this is the time of year they always do it, though.
Yeah.
And I did look back at the contract just to make sure, and it does say that they have the right to do a CPI every year. So this is pretty standard for them.
Like, what I'm saying is, even if it doesn't start till March 1st, they need to tell us about it in October or June.
Yeah, rather than a week or two in advance.
Rather
Don't give them a
than
lot of time.
5 months into the new year.
Right.
Into the budget season.
Gotcha. I can certainly ask them for that in
We
the
have to
future.
do a budget amendment to put it in there.
Right. Right. So if that's why you want to handle it, I can certainly do that, and we'll come back with a resolution for the next meeting. Okay, sounds good. And then last, just wanted to give you an update on the SCOP grant applications that we've been discussing. Again, that's the FDOT Small County Outreach Program grant applications. I have all of these applications right here that Walt has been working very diligently on. So he did put dollar figures on all of these. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea as to what we're looking at. Southwest First Ave, the resurfacing there is $187,100. Northwest First Ave resurfacing, $171,600. Northeast First Street resurfacing, $177,100. Northeast First Ave resurfacing, $107,800. Northeast 2nd Terrace and Northeast 2nd Avenue resurfacing, $176,300. Northeast 3rd Street resurfacing, $89,300. Northwest 1st Street resurfacing, $159,000. And then Airport Road or Southwest 18th Street to Northeast 180th Avenue would be $783,100. At the next meeting, we're going to have the resolution for you. It's going to need to be passed by both the council here and by the Levy County BOCC, so that we're doing that basically as a joint interlocal between the two entities. But the total amount for all 8 projects, and the Airport Road, Walt just advised a little while ago, he's going to have to add a little bit to this, but so it's not 100%, but it's about $1.8 million all in for all 8 roads. So it's quite a bit of money. Hopefully we can get at least 1 or 2 of them would be my hope. So again, those are due by March 25th, but we'll have the resolution with the interlocal between us and the county for the Airport Road at the next council meeting. Yeah.
At the last meeting, I want to clarify something that I said, or the way I was conveying the Airport Road job. If we do this job with the inter-agreement, what you will be agreeing to is you're not taking over the right-of-way. You are agreeing to the maintenance of the improvements for their useful life, which might be some crack sealing and things of that nature, restriping. That is what you're going to be responsible if you become the lead agency on that. So it's you're taking over. The key that I failed to convey or even understand 2 weeks ago was you're taking over for that improvement's useful life, not the useful life of the entire road, not in perpetuity. And so that's about a 15-year. Lars, you're going to take over the maintenance of that pavement if you become the lead agency on that. So I just wanted to clarify that. So it's much simpler, I think, than what we were talking about 2 weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
When your notes that you, that I have here, the county's kind of taking a wait and see.
That's literally what Commissioner Heyer said to us, yes.
So my question is, what are we going to do to take care of us for taxes?
Well, we definitely don't
Or are
want
we
to...
going to wait for them?
No, I don't think we should wait for them at all. I mean, that's why, like I said, with the 15 options that they gave us at the meeting at Folds Walker last week, that's why I gave that to Stephen to kind of put some dollar figures on. I don't think we're going to make up $1.5 million. I can tell you that. But I mean, maybe we make up 500,000. I mean, I don't know what it's going to be at this point, but we're definitely not going to wait and see. The other thing that Folds Walker gave us last week was a resolution that we could adopt. That again, I hope to get to you for the next council meeting, to basically say we're going to be proactive about the possibility of the elimination of the property taxes. And then there's something I sent you guys today. You probably even haven't had a chance to look at, but we cannot. And Kiersten's going to correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but there's a certain window of opportunity that we can discuss this with our residents and spend money on it. Once it's enacted on the ballot, then we can't do anything about it. We can't spend public funds on doing something. So we need to do stuff now. We've got to, we really got to get the train rolling now.
We'll be here before we know it.
Right. We don't want to wait, a couple months. So we are definitely working on that now. We don't want to be the county.
I can tell you there are some things on that list that I have no interest in doing.
And I get that. I mean, I understand. I mean, again, this was just, between all the municipalities, what we came up with, and they had a list that they provided when we walked in the door. So, yeah, if you're not even interested in them, that's certainly fine.
And that's just me.
I get
Some
it.
of them are very costly and would be for the residents, and I have no interest in doing that.
Understood. But we're just, we're trying to come up with what we can, in any way we can. But, yeah, we don't, absolutely not. We're not going to take a wait and see.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Twofold, the backflow. Explain a little bit about that.
So the backflow preventer, and I'm hoping Alex and Rob are going to correct me if I'm saying this wrong. So this is for people that have a irrigation system.
Mm-hmm.
FDEP is requiring them, and I believe the requirement is already in place currently, if I'm not mistaken. They are supposed to be tested every year. We are not testing them currently. We had a meeting with a company called BSI Online that would take over the program for us. And we're only looking at, I think it was 100, correct me, Alex, 100 people roughly, around 100 people that have these backflow preventers in the city. BSI said they could take it on for us. Basically, they would do everything for us. They would contact the customers and say, you have to have this tested. It was a little more complicated than we probably would like to do. So Todd from Twofold, of course, he's our wastewater and water operator. He came in and said that he does the same program. I can't remember the name of the municipalities, but I put it in the report. And he could do it for us. And it's going to be a lot cheaper for them to do it. I think it was about $75, between $60 and $75. It gets charged directly to the customer. And they send the report directly to the city, which we then maintain. We don't have to give it to FDEP. If they come in and they audit us and they say, where's your results, we would have to give it to them at that point. But I actually asked Twofold to do my own house just so I could see it, because I've never had mine tested either. He was saying that with the cold snap that just happened, it could very well be there's a lot of these that are inoperable.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, the customer would have to replace it at that point. It's about $600 to replace. Whoa. So we're just trying to get ahead of it in the event that FDEP comes. I mean, it's yet another unfunded mandate by the state of Florida. They want us to do it, but they're not giving us any money to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right. So, Ms. Wright, you have anything?
In front of you, you all should have a Florida Municipal Officials Manual. This is something that they have put together, and this is something that should have been available a long time ago, but we have it now. And this is a very good book. It tells you the do's and don'ts of a council or commissioner, and it also tells you about how city council started. So it's a very good tool, and I thought it would be very good for you all to have, because, I'm always looking for ways for you all to improve yourself and be a better council.
Thank you, ma'am. Anything else?
Make sure Shannon gets one.
In a minute. Chief Rose. Nothing. Chief Stegall. Mr. Danny.
Just a reminder, on March 17th, it's going to be the smoke detector installs out in Cherry Point area. And it'll start off in the morning and go to about noontime. We'll have Red Cross personnel and fire department personnel, and if anybody wants to volunteer that day, we'd be glad to have you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Kim.
Yes, we have a staff update as of today. Our Public Works Supervisor position, we did an internal promotion with Nate Roberts. He accepted, and he is going to start Monday. In that role.
Thank you, ma'am. Can I just add something to that? Does everybody know who Nate is? Nate is the young gentleman that we gave the award to for going above and beyond, helping a customer that had approached him in the parking lot.
Okay.
And is the Public Works Supervisor over gas, water, and sewer?
No, they have no employees. It's basically the position that was created for, not created, that's the wrong term, was that we were going to give to Donald for his strong suits, I guess. But he's going to be the one, like project management over infrastructure, kind of like what Donald did.
Okay. It's on the staffing plan.
Yes, ma'am, it's Donald's old position, public work administrator that got moved to a supervisor.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. So, short little updates. We continue to work out at the sewer plant, getting that area cleaned up. We're working with Chief Rolls and his staff on removing one of the old armored vehicles, I guess you would call it, Humvee. That's going to be transported elsewhere shortly. Lots of moving parts right now within the city as far as cleaning up and making some repairs to the roadways. We did receive word from DOT. They upgraded the crosswalk with an additional 3 seconds to each side, so that's been upgraded. And we're working on meeting with DOT, FDOT, for the crosswalk across the street.
Thank you. Miss Megan.
Thank you for fixing Northwest First and Second.
And that was actually FDOT. They ordered the part. They're responsible for that box. They did make the repairs.
Cool.
I wanted to give everybody an update on Edmonds and where we are with our list. Everybody should have one in front of you. The users being kicked out, still happening. They're aware of it. They got a call today. They were monitoring it. So it's still in progress. Customers seeing previous payment as a credit, that has been fixed, so that is completely resolved. We talked about that last week, or last council meeting. Each utility having its own tax, everything broken out on the bill. They're still working on that to consolidate it to what the bills used to look like before we swapped systems. Bills online showing while I'm in the process of making them. They have a temporary fix for that. They are going to attempt to include something that will be as simple as a button for future people as well, which was a hard lesson that they learned because they didn't know it showed online as I was processing them. Yeah. Nice. So that was fun. So that is in progress. Data converted from ADG, they're still working to see if everything came over correctly. We have assessed everything, and it is, so far, everything looks like it came over into the new system correct. So we're still working on that. The readers exceptions when I'm doing the rechecks. It took them a while to figure it out, so I took it upon myself to contact Itron, who is the carrier that we use for all of our meters, and finally got somebody on the phone that could give me answers. And so I went through and I have put in what they call exception codes. So it should hopefully not have somebody with a $17,000 bill anymore, because it will realize, hey, I don't need that last digit, and it will drop it, which we've had happen. So yes, that was something that manually I did, stopped waiting on them and just started doing it. And they were like, they called last week and they're like, oh, well, you did it. What are we going to do? And I'm like, check it. That's what I need you to do. I need you to double check it. So that's what they're doing right now, checking the background to make sure there's none that were missed. As far as the work orders and using the tablets, we actually have training for staff, or a handful of staff and myself. They will be trained on how to use them correctly tomorrow. We'll start our training tomorrow and hopefully be able to implement those by the end of the month, if all goes well and we can get all the tablets set up correctly. As far as the workflow, how we wanted it to go, it's not going to work exactly like we want it to, but they are going to try their best to make adjustments as they start doing upgrades in the system as well. It will now go from customer service to the system, and the gentlemen and ladies out in the field will just have to randomly check throughout the day, sort of like they do here. They come up and get the actual work order. They'll just have to slide and see what's up and what they need to take care of. So almost the same process. It just will be digital in their hands, so they don't have to wait, 20 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on where they're at in town. They'll have it readily available, which will hopefully cut down on time of things getting repaired and or looked at. Again, the tablets, we're doing that tomorrow. The multiple window options, we know that it's not really an option for us unless I give the ladies a second login. As far as having 2 account fields open at the same time, you can't do that unless I give them a second login. And they both have said, nope, we'll work with it like we have it. That is also something that they said they would look into and see if any of their other customers would like it and possibly do it in an upgrade further down the line. So, something else we brought to their attention that may be helpful for other municipalities. As for training or a module or a setup for our residents to come so we can show them how to read their bill, they would like to get the bill finished before they have everybody come in. They'll create a slideshow for us, and then myself and Miss Sue and anybody else who would like to participate, we can have all the citizens come in and we can show them how to read their bill effectively so that it's not as confusing as it seems to be, for sure. The bill layout, again, they fixed that. It looks just like the one that they receive in the mail now when they come up and ask for a reprint, so we're good to go there. Lots of things in progress. And if any of the citizens have anything that they are concerned about as far as bills go, please don't hesitate to reach out. Let customer service know, give your info, they will send it to me. We are looking, we are trying to fix it. And if it is still wrong, we want it right for y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Perfect.
Yes, got one.
Mr. Cox?
Yes. Go ahead, Rob, you go first.
Can you update the council about the problem that you resolved with Mr. Eckert, or excuse me, with Mr. Joby this evening?
Oh, yes. Joby was questioning not being able to see for 8 months. He's been trying to trying to get answers on his solar meter and how to read the bill. Excuse me. I pulled it up right here and showed him that it clearly shows what he's using out of our grid, what he's returning to our grid, and where his rebate is listed on his bill. Anybody else who has questions about their solar, are more than welcome to reach out. I'll be able to help them as well.
Okay, Mr. Cox?
And they're all alone, huh?
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Maybe I missed it, but I ask for clarity. So let's say you got sick. Who's the backup?
Me. I can work remotely. I often do. That's not really a problem. If it's an immediate problem that needs to be handled, honestly, Jennifer, what I call our lead, she can handle most of everything that comes through. She's the one who trained me to be, in fact. So she's trained everybody that is currently working in customer service and myself.
Okay.
I mean, to have an official backup, no, sir. But
I think we should have one.
I would trust her to make a decision in the right direction if needed, if I was unavailable.
Yeah, okay.
Anyone else on the council? All right, thank you, ma'am. Any other staff?
evening, council. Want to present a little update on the fiber project. Y'all hear me? I can't hear myself. We have made quite a bit of progress in the last 2 weeks. We've talked about that with Fibersmith and the management software that's the back end, getting those things set up. Finished up this evening. We've got 742 of the ONTs that we have in stock have been entered into inventory. 470 routers are in inventory. We've also able to get the 40 CalLink customers imported in there because they're going to be the first customers, so we got their base information in. Right now they're working on the workflows of how everything's going to work with activating a customer, provisioning the equipment, and controlling the bandwidth and those kind of things. That's what they're working on right now. Our core router, which sits here, controls our internet. That's been set up for about 3 weeks. We've been running it through some few paces and tweaking a few things here and there. No problems on that. Last week, Friday, we hooked up one customer at Lane's Yardware, so he's actually on the fiber. Kind of chose him for a multitude of reasons. One, I manage his router personally, so I have access to his equipment. He has a dual internet feed capability, so he can still function with his primary internet. We can hook ours up and test with it and not interfere with his business. So we're not interfering with anything. If we have to take something down or make a change, it's not going to interrupt anything for him. We've tested the billing process in Fibersmith. It's no problems. IP pay, submitting payments, has been checked out and confirmed to work. In that respect, we're waiting on the as-built information so we can put all that in there into the 3GIS, which controls how the network itself works and all the equipment, where it's at, how long the fiber is from this point to that point, where all the splices are. So that's all the information we're relying on to get that up and running. Once we get that, we are probably 99% done with the Fibersmith and the software to run everything. At that point, we can start hooking people up. I can't really give you a timeline because we're depending on getting this information from either Suncoast or Lightset. I don't know who it's going to come from. I think it's going to come from Suncoast because they've been the ones modifying that build and making notes as they're building it here. So that's probably where it's got to come from to get the most accurate data. I don't know if I get any more questions I can answer.
Any questions from the council?
I have a question. You had mentioned people being able to pay via kiosk. Is that set up?
It's not set up, but it will be. When we get ready to roll out, we'll have a kiosk available. They can make payments. They can there's a customer portal that'll be available just like it has with CalLink now. They can just go online and pay it.
That's the Fibersmith portal.
That's
and
all.
Then,
it's all part of that. Yes.
And then the kiosk will basically be a link to, like,
Yeah,
it'd be kind of an open page to.
Basically, yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes. In a nutshell, it'll be an open page to that portal.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Estimated timeline?
I don't know. I can't honestly give you an estimation because I'm depending on getting this information from the vendor.
Okay.
That's being honest. Would I love to see it happen tomorrow? Absolutely. Do I expect it to happen tomorrow? Absolutely not.
We waiting on permits?
No, the permit's not holding this process up at all.
Okay.
It's holding up, what the permits is holding up is building out some of the other areas and getting those areas connected. But as far as getting customers on and getting the system up, that's not holding us up at all.
Okay. Thank you.
So what is holding us up?
Getting this information from the as-built to get that into Fibersmith.
So do they not have the information, or is it not complete yet? Have they not provided it to you?
I haven't asked them. I asked this evening. I sent Suncoast a message to ask if they could deliver that information on the completed sections, and I haven't heard back from them. So
Okay, so it just got asked for today.
We just did that today.
Okay.
You good, Miss Debra?
I was just saying, hopefully when you hear back from them, they can give you a timeline.
I would expect so, yes. I would expect if they have the data, I don't expect it would take that much to export the data out in the format we would need to get it imported in and test it and make sure everything's right. I mean, that's, you know how that goes. It's not that difficult. It's just a matter of getting it.
You need to insist that they give it to you in a timely manner, because that's what we're waiting on.
Yep.
Thank you.
And we have a meeting tomorrow with all the key players in this thing to have a head banging.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thank you. Ms. Ballou. Attorney Ballou. Sorry.
I just wanted to touch base a little bit and build on what Sue talked about. So we did have a meeting at our office. Obviously, one of the benefits of Folds Walker as your attorney is that we represent other municipalities. So multiple of the municipalities that we represent, including Newberry and Alachua, came to the meeting regarding property taxes. One of the things, based on one of the comments that was made, that I'm not saying, but other people who are smarter than me and numbers are saying, is that your comment, Councilor Jones, is very right on the nose about the increased cost to citizens. The estimations are, in order to upkeep the level of service that citizens are expecting, in order to transfer it to these other methodologies like special assessments and impact fees and franchise fees, those are all things that are going to actually end up costing the citizens more money than they're currently paying. So those are maybe a good talking point for if anyone is ever asking you about property taxes. I did want to let you know that the House had a bill that was proposed on the House floor that wouldn't have eliminated property taxes. It would have raised the exemption from up to 75 to up to 150. That was denied, and the House passed a bill that totally eliminated the property taxes. That has now gone to the Senate. We do not expect the Senate to approve the reduction in that manner. The session is set to end March 13th. So if there is not a bill passed on that, and the session isn't extended, obviously, then it will not be on the November ballot. So we're keeping our fingers and toes and all of our other things crossed. But we just want to make sure that everyone's aware of, the status that we are. Like Sue said, we'll be putting out information pre this measure being placed on the ballot, because as soon as it is placed on the ballot, it is something that we are very limited in what we can do. And it being placed on the ballot is it being passed by the Senate. So it's not November. It's, in the next couple of weeks. So we need to be pushing as much as humanly possible. And then we'll continue to have those meetings with the municipalities, including Williston, in order to just brainstorm ideas. But you are absolutely right. In order to do the things that are being requested, eliminate property taxes, and also with that, we can't we're prohibited by the law from reducing police or fire or other public safety services. So the money's got to come from somewhere, and all estimates are that it will be more expensive to do it in the piecemeal 15 different parts way than to finance it through property taxes. So we will continue to keep you updated, but I just wanted to make sure everyone has that information, because you all have lots of people's ears who also have lots of people's ears. That's all for me.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Attorney Ballou? No. Anything from council? Nothing. Mr. Fox? Miss
Hey, behave.
Ms. Meredith?
No.
And Ms. Jones, you have nothing. I have nothing as well. All right. So the mayor is not here, so we will move forward. So on to new business. Discussion with possible update on Williston Fiber Hector with Performance Services.
Well, good evening.
Hi.
Madam President, Vice President, council members, and Madam Manager. I have one handout. It's in this packet. I'm just going to give this to Latricia.
Excuse me.
It's 3 pages, and the only page that really matters is the last one. It's just an update on the number of drops and splices and where we are with the numbers. And you'll see that we're at 95%. To the last council meeting, we were at 87% complete with the drops. Just the drop number keeps changing as we get more and more addresses. We're able to keep moving forward with those drops. But we are making progress on the drops. Again, we're 95% complete. Now, Sue asked me to, thank you, Chief. Sue asked me to speak on a few topics. I don't know if she mentioned these to you, but I'll go ahead and speak to them now. And I'm here to answer questions. If you need to throw darts, you really should be coming in my direction. Your staff has been absolutely wonderful. Aaron, Rob, Sue, they have been great to work with and really have been very, very helpful. Aaron, I hadn't heard about the as-built that you needed, so I'll follow up with those. And I'll follow up with those as well. But one of the things that Sue asked me to address, door hangers. I got the design today. I will, as soon as I can talk. Sue says she knew somebody local that she wanted, that we could use to do the printing for the door hangers. I can get them done most anywhere, but if you've got somebody local, that would be best. And also, if you can tell me how many you need. And we'll be taking care of that, so we can get those to you right away. FDOT permits has been a saga. It's been a challenge, and what I'll say about those is that we were finally able to talk to the FDOT rep on yesterday. We understand exactly what they need, and interesting is you heard Aaron talk about as-builts. They need as-builts from the city for all the utility lines that are in the fiber way that exist. The as-builts don't always exist. Some of these infrastructure things have been around for years and years and years. And so you just don't have those plans that you can submit right to FDOT. That was explained yesterday, and we will be submitting new plans this week, and hopefully that's going to be sufficient to get I want to say it's 6 or 8 different FDOT permits approved. Once we submit those this week, we'll have a better sense of it. Actually, they're going to be submitted to the city so that you can submit them to FDOT. And that should happen this week, those updated plans that FDOT has asked for. Any questions on FDOT?
So Aaron just said that FDOT was not holding up this process, but it sounds like it's holding up this process.
Well, there's 2 different parts of it. There's what Aaron is doing is we've already got it, as I said, 95% complete. There's some I think it's 8 permits that we still need from FDOT to finish up basically the loop, but things that Aaron can start doing, those are separate from what we're doing on the infrastructure.
Not holding up Aaron, but it's holding up everybody.
But is it holding up the ability for people to get access to internet?
I don't think so.
Only in certain areas, the areas that we can't connect to yet. That's what we're waiting on to be able to cross the road.
Would be.
Without looking at it, I couldn't tell you for sure, but probably Camellia Plantation down 41 going south, kind of that area, that direction. But pretty much everybody else we can start getting to as those areas get completed.
Okay.
Yeah, of the 9 geographic areas, 3 of them are dependent on these FDOT permits, so the other 6 are not. And there's you can see it on that table on the 3rd page. The drops, 79 complete, 91, 96, 87. You see where we're still short and where those FDOT permits are impacting. Not a big number, but certainly a number that's going to impact our ability to close that final loop. Any other questions on FDOT? And I mentioned the door hangers. There's only one other thing that I'm going to mention, unless Sue has other questions, and it really gets back down to the revenues that should have occurred during construction, should be occurring today. The expenses that the city has incurred, for example, the shipping expense that we've talked about, any repairs to the RV resort that have to be done. Those are all things that we are aware of, and I'm in conversation with Sue. Don't want to throw a number out there today for how that's going to get resolved. We know that it's on us, and we're taking responsibility for that. That's not a question for us. We're on the hook for that, and we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing. But I mentioned to Sue that I really want to wait till the end, which is maybe just a few weeks away, so that we're not changing numbers between now and then, so we get a final number of what you think the lost revenues were, any repairs, any expenses. We want to just be sure what that number is so that we can go back and get those checks cut. One for the RV resort for their repairs and so on, and certainly for one for the city as well. So no question that that's going to happen. We get that. We're happy to provide that, because those are lost revenues, so no issues with those. But I want you to know that just want to wait to start committing to numbers until we get done in these next few weeks.
I have a, related to the door hangers. Are we looking at 2 or 3 different people getting estimates on the door hangers, or are we just going with one person?
We typically use J.J. Fields, correct? And I think that's who we've used on most of the fiber stuff that we've made so far, but we can certainly get quotes from others.
Is this for the
door hangers?
I'm going to take care of it, so unless you want to.
You're covering the
It's
cost.
not coming out of our. Okay.
But if you want to.
Well, I mean, no, it's just that, we need to make sure that we get the best price that we can get.
That's.
And that includes for you as well. I mean, it's just.
Well, yeah, I'm not.
Fiscally responsible.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but it was never intended for you to cover that cost. Not, we've got that.
We kind of dodged a bullet with the crossings because they weren't 100% packed out like they normally are. Because a lot of the Canadians did not come down this year because of the money exchange rate and everything. So it's kind of a blessing that it's not one to full park and gives the guys a chance to maneuver around and do what they have to do.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of an unfortunate blessing so it's unfortunate that it's needed, but those repairs are something that we understand.
So we're how many months behind at this point for the crossings? Let's just start there. 5 months behind. So my question is, what are you guys actively doing to ensure that we are up and running as soon as possible? Because I just can't believe we're this far behind, quite honestly.
Yeah, I don't know that it's 5 months, but nonetheless, I think it may be closer to 3 months, maybe going on our 3rd month. But
I think the contract with Williston Crossing was that we would have internet in there.
Originally, we told them October.
Oh, I thought it was January 1st.
I understand there's nothing in writing.
It doesn't matter if
the
there's nothing in
original-
writing. If you stand at the podium and you say that there's going to be in there by October, that's a promise. And I know it's not contractual, but that's a promise to our residents. And I'm saying, well, there was nothing in writing. I'm sorry, it just isn't an excuse for why we're 5 months behind. And I just want to know what is being done to make sure that we are absolutely ahead on every single step going forward. And I also would like to know how long between, because I know there are 2 processes. Once you guys complete the fiber, the install of the fiber to the poles, and then the next step, and this is probably a 2-part question for you and Aaron, is that the next step is actually hooking up the customers. And I would like specifics on how long that's going to take and what we're doing to make sure that that process goes as efficiently as possibly, whether we need to hire extra staff, whether we need to, whatever we need to do. I want to know what we are actually doing because we're way behind.
Well, two parts. I mean, today, and Aaron's, again, been doing a great job. He's working on his side so that he can start connecting customers. As soon as he's able, and I'm going to press on those as-built because, again, first time I'm hearing about it. But as soon as he's able, he can push out quite a few customers, a few hundred customers already today. I mean, if you had all, if everything was done, not him, but if everything was ready. On our part, we're going to continue on the infrastructure side on the drops. Our numbers are we have completed 819 drops. I mean, that's so many potential customers you could already start hooking up.
So you're saying we could be hooking those customers up now?
Again, there's
dependent on.
It says they're 100%.
As in, and I guess I need to clarify, hooking up as in, I know the drops are at the houses, but connecting the customer to the internet so that they actually have access to the internet. That's something that we could be doing today, is what you're telling me.
So I know Aaron's going to respond here, but Aaron's always needed at least a month to get from the time that everything was up and running on the, I'm going to call it the head-end side. He needed a month to do what he's doing now. So He's on track, and if we had our front end already in place in October, November, he would have been done and customers would have been online. So that's why those lost revenues that I talked about are on us. But yeah, back to your question on our side, I'm engaged as much as I'm engaged, fully engaged. And this is, I talked to Sue, we text, Aaron. We're on this. We have another call tomorrow with the FDOT to talk about the FDOT permitting. So all I can tell you is that we're working it hard because this is embarrassing. I'm going to say that here. In general, we have about 80% repeat customers. So things don't go like this normally. This is very unusual, and it's very, I don't like having to address this. Sue asked me to come here every council meeting, and I do, because again, there's darts to be throw them at me. We're responsible for where things are today, and we're going to be held accountable, and no issues with that. So again, the answer to your question is I'm engaged. Our team is engaged. We have calls on this. I've got our executives involved. Our president knows about the problem we're having in Williston. So we have everybody understanding the issues, and we're continuing to work them and trying to get through them as quickly as we can.
And so those issues are, I guess that's my question. I appreciate, and I'm sure that you would like this done just as quickly as the rest of us, but I guess I'm looking for more specifics, not generic issues, but what specifically are the issues that continue to delay this? Is it just that we're so far behind that now we're behind and we're playing catch up, or are there still issues that are actually causing us delays?
Yeah, the delays right now are let's just say 90%, 95% is done. Mm-hmm. So a month later or soon, Aaron's going to be able to start selling service on that 95% that's done. So what you're asking about is that last 5 or 10%. And that's FDOT dependent, and that's what we think that as soon as I shouldn't say we think, but I was told that as soon as we get those FDOT approvals, the rest of it's about a 2-week process to get everything completed. But getting that FDOT approval has been the hang up, and it's been an issue for a while, and there's reasons for that, but they're not good reasons.
Okay, so, and again, forgive me, because I feel like we're talking a bit in circles. So what you're telling me is that the part that is completed, we could actively be hooking up customers right there.
Talking to him.
Well,
yes, the answer is yes.
The answer is yes, that we could actively be hooking up customers right now.
As soon as Aaron's portion is done, and again, he's had to wait on us, but
we can physically hook them up, yes, but we can't control the bandwidth or the equipment until the fibersmith's done. That is the back end that has to be completed before we can start hooking customers up and charging them internet.
And the delay on that is the information that you asked for.
That's the information I just talked about today. That we just got to this point today where we're ready for the as-bills.
Okay.
So let me ask you this question. You said that the people who are going to get connected first is going to be the CalLink subscribers currently. Is the RV park part of those CalLink subscribers?
They'll be hooked up in conjunction. I'm just not even counting them as they're going to be in the process at the same time.
Okay. So we probably should say that so that they don't think that they're being
left out.
They know that.
We've already talked to them about it. They know that. They're aware of that. But
okay.
I was more referring to the residents here in town. But yes, they will be going online the same time because their area is, I think, 100% complete minus one drop that they're still working on doing to the main building.
And can I
Go ahead.
finish? So Hector said you need 30 days from today. Is that
I don't know that I need that much. It can be sooner than that. It's just a matter of getting this information and getting it in the system. The Fibersmith people have been very responsive. I literally sent him an email today, and he called me in 30 minutes, and we did what we did this evening after hours. So
what I meant was from the time that head-in was put in, then Aaron was able to start his process, and that was going to be about 30 days. I think you're probably in about 3-4 weeks now.
We're probably about 3 weeks into the setup of stuff, so we're getting close to that 30 days now. But again, until I actually get my hands on it and get it in there and prove that it's correct and everything's working, I'd be hard pressed to give you a time. I don't really know because it's out of my control.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam President, can I just say one thing?
Yes.
So the plan is to have one of our fiber techs do the entire crossings, and then our other one who's a little more experienced to do the actual houses. So he would start with CalLink, so they'll be able to work simultaneously. We've also spoken with Suncoast, which is one of PSI's subs, about the possibility of having them help because they are only 2 people and we have 800 to do, so it could take longer. So we've already spoken with them as well to try to get some additional help. So once everything's up and running 100%, we're ready. Like we have a plan in place to roll this out as quickly as possible. So we're trying. Just want to say that.
Yeah, because those are, I mean, sure everybody has seen it, but like we have a Dish Network. I've seen Starlink commercials like crazy, starting at $50. T-Mobile's been all over the TV with fiber, their internet. I just don't want more and more people to start jumping on board, and then we lose people because haven't been able to get them the product.
I understand. I've studied this thing for, as you know, well over a year.
Yeah.
When I started looking at this and why I said it, I thought it made wonderful sense, and I think it still will. I just wish it had started sooner for you. That's why those lost revenues. That's why that's on us. We want to make you whole, but the lost. If you lose customers, you can't get them back, for at least not for a while. So, trying to get everything done as quickly as possible so that you can still capture at your rate and at your speed, which is unmatched by any of these other ones that are advertising. Right. Yours is going to be far superior at a great price. So hopefully you're still going to capture them.
I have an off-the-wall question.
Hold that thought for a second.
I will.
Mr. Hector, I got a question for you, sir. So on what part of the city are we holding up the FDOT permits?
I don't know. There's 3. I don't know the answer to that question. I can tell you what number of areas they are, but I don't know the exact geography. I couldn't give you the streets, or there's some railroad crossings, street crossings, but I don't have that.
What is your contractor doing to expedite this?
Had a call with FDOT yesterday, and understands now what the requirements, what FDOT requirements are with light set folks. I'm sure you know. And so they know what they need to do. They're getting those plans together. I was told that they're going to get those plans together by tomorrow. I hate to say that, but that's what I was told. In fact, on my way down here, that they have those plans submitted to the city by tomorrow. But maybe that means Thursday, but that's what I was told. And then you can submit again. You would be able to submit those to FDOT for your permits.
So if they're not submitted by tomorrow, what are the plans for your contractor?
If you're asking about switching contractors, if that's what one of your questions?
Yes, sir.
We don't have that plan right now. The expense of switching contractors is going to be about $4,000 or $5,000 per permit. And while we're not excited about how things have been going with LightSet, and as you know, the coordination of the permits really wasn't in our contract. That was something that the city had said they would take on. But that's really, that was last year, and it just, now we're getting into the weeds, and right now we're just trying to get those permits approved.
So from what I see on the map, it's the northwest Williston, north central Williston, and central Williston, southeast of City Hall, if that helps you at all. Does it?
Yes, somewhat, okay. But we still have
the map.
We still have permitting issues that we need to resolve.
Yeah, and those permits are because we haven't been able to submit the as-built, different as-built than what Aaron is asking for. These are as-built that you would have, plans of this building, for example. How was it built? Where are the electrical lines? Where are the water lines? Those are the as-built that FDOT is asking for, but only for the infrastructure. And again, the city doesn't have them, so we're trying to work around those FDOT requirements. And we think we have found that solution as of yesterday. And we're submitting to FDOT what we do have. And then there's a couple of exceptions that they've asked for that we're going to submit as well. But the things that they wanted, we've had to explain to them that they don't exist.
Okay. Aaron, quick question. So how many of your CalLink subscribers are in those areas? Oh, okay.
Without looking at it and seeing where their addresses are, I really couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Most of them are probably available to be hooked up. There may be a handful that are not, but I don't think they are. I think they're all going to be available to hook up.
In those three areas, there's about 100 drops that are listed. I want to say that about 150 have been done.
Okay.
But if, in those FDOT permit areas.
Yeah, and I don't think any of those are directly CalLink customers currently. And we've got a couple of CalLink drops that still haven't been done. There's one that is dependent on the FDOT. No, as a matter of fact, there's two. Now that I think about it, there is two.
Okay.
Madam President, can I ask one more question?
Just one.
Okay. No, just joking. Just one. Is Lightset planning on being at the meeting tomorrow?
I have to look at the invite and
I
who
don't.
accepted.
I didn't see them on the invite, and there's a reason that we're asking. I mean, I know I've asked to switch from Lightset to Suncoast, and again, there's a reason for that. The last set of plans that we received about a week or two ago, I'm just going to be really honest with you, and I'm sorry I have to do this in public, but those plans they were basically cut and paste. The last couple pages of the plans had another company's name on it instead of the city of Williston. They have been cutting and pasting this entire time. It's very sloppy work. That's all I can say.
Let's. They were on the call yesterday with FDOT. We can wait till at least see what they produce this week.
Okay.
And then we can have that conversation again.
If it doesn't happen tomorrow, we need to look at somebody else doing this work.
Understand.
I don't know what else to tell you other than 17 rejections in 3 months is just not acceptable. It's just not.
Yeah.
So I would recommend they be there tomorrow.
You sent that invite?
I did not. I think you sent it. Or maybe Vicky did. I don't know. But when I looked at who was on there today, Lightset was not on there.
Right.
Okay. I'll forward, if I sent it, I'll make sure they get it. If not, I'll forward it to them if it was sent to me.
Mr. Hector, one more question for you, sir. So I've been in touch with Mr. Stacy at FDOT for the past 2 weeks. Past 2 weeks, we've been getting updates that the plans will be in tomorrow. Yesterday was the first time that he's heard from your third-party contractor in 2 weeks. That's unacceptable to the city. We need to get this project rolling, sir. So, again, like Ms. Sue just said, we need a decision tomorrow on what we're going to do with this third-party contractor. We have to get this project going, sir.
When did you say that you got that information? Today?
That was yesterday, ma'am.
Yesterday.
I spoke with Mr. Stacy for the past 2 weeks. Every day I have recordings on Ring Central as well.
Did you guys call Hector to let him know that you were having...
Not to Hector, multiple emails to Mike McCain.
McCain, yeah.
Mike McCain, over and over again with the same...
Is that the point of contact?
Mm-hmm. He's our project manager. And,
okay.
Rob, I'm told that our guys have not been able to reach FDOT on multiple...
They haven't called, sir.
I'm told they called multiple times, and they just found out... Okay, I'm just telling you what I heard. That what they're telling me is that they have called for the last 2 weeks, and I've not been able to get a hold of them until yesterday. I'll go back and dig into that. But if you're able to reach out to FDOT and speak to them, and you said every day for 2 weeks, that's not what I'm hearing on our side of it. That we're having a lot more of a challenge for us, and almost an impossibility for us to reach them. What's one of the challenges that I'm told that we're facing? But I'll dig into this tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
And Sue, in response to your question, I appreciate what you're saying, and let me look into that. Let me just see if they're going to answer the bell, this time around.
And I suggest you guys have a conversation before the week is out. That way, everybody's on the same page, and we'll kind of stop it here.
I have one last just logistical question, if I may, which is just the as-built that Aaron's requesting. Is that information that the company should already have, or is that something that they're going to have to generate?
I don't know the answer to that. Those are when you finish building a building or any structure, anything, as-built are created this is what we built, here's how we built it, here were all the, all the utilities are. So we are creating that for what Aaron needs. The as-built that we need are what the city, whoever built the infrastructure would.
I'm referring to what Aaron needs. Is that something that's already generated, or is that something that they are going to have to take time to generate before they give it to Aaron?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if they have them available or if they need to generate them.
Typically, the way they build, they're using a software called Catapult. It's basically a GIS software, which is how they put this line goes from here to here, and it's this coordinate. They're building that as they go, so the data's there. It shouldn't take that much for them to generate the data, because the Suncoast is taking charge, and they've been changing and building the plan all along. So they should be able to generate that fairly quickly. Even if it's not completed, if they can just give me what they have as far as the areas that are completed. I don't necessarily need the overall as-built, because we can modify it and change it as we go. But if they'll give me what they have now, we can move forward.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions or discussions for? Oh, yes, please. I totally forgot about your off-the-wall question.
Off-the-wall question is for Aaron, essentially. I think it could actually be for Hector. And it's from Facebook, so please just humor me. Multiple people have said that the contractors are putting the box on their back wall, but they are not signed up.
If they're on the list, they have pre-registered. That's where these addresses and stuff came from. We did find one address this week that they put it on the wrong house.
Okay.
But he's interested and still wants it, so he's
I believe
happy.
that was the one I saw.
Yeah.
This guy said that he did not.
I saw it as well, and we addressed that the next morning, and he's okay. Everything's good. But they effectively, it was like the house beside him and the house after him. And somewhere with the contractors not being familiar with the area, they just got the wrong house.
Perfect.
Because not all of our houses are numbered quite correctly.
Appreciate it.
So, but he's happy.
Thank you.
Well, that was easy, right? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, at this time, we're going to take a break for dinner. So we'll pause at 7:25.
I love it.
Return 7:45.
20 minutes? You think we